Hello, successful people. Welcome back to the Iron Fire Success Channel. I'm DK.
And I'm Mo.
Thank you to our subscribers.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Please subscribe to our channel for more information about new home construction and model home tours in San Antonio and the surrounding areas.
Today's video is all about choosing cabinets at the Design Center. We're going to do a cabinet construction 101 so that you know what cabinets are made out of, what features are available, and some reasons why you might find yourself upgrading to the very top level at the Design Center. Check it out. Cabinets can be a major expense when you're building a new construction home. While many people know what color cabinets they want or how they want their cabinets to look, they don't know a lot about cabinet construction. So they don't know if they're getting their money's worth with all of these upgrades at the Design Center. I'm going to talk about cabinet construction, what cabinets are made from, the way that they're made, the doors, the drawer construction. I'm going to talk about how the Design Center upgrade scheme works and why you may be forced to upgrade to a level beyond what you wanted in order to get some things you want. And we're going to take a little trip to Lowe's so that you can see some of the things that I'm mentioning in this video about how cabinets are made, how it looks on actual cabinets. So, the first step in recognizing the difference between the cabinet levels at the Design Center is knowing what cabinets are made from. Cabinets can be made from engineered wood, which is a combination of wood particles that are pressed together at a high heat with a glue or resin, or they can be made from plywood, or it could be a combination of those two things. So engineered wood is usually called particle board or low density fiberboard, LDF, or medium density fiberboard, MDF, or high density fiberboard, HDF. The engineered wood became very popular many years ago for making furniture because it has properties of wood, but it's just not as sturdy as using plywood to make cabinet boxes. Plywood, although it has the word wood in its name, isn't completely made out of wood. Plywood is technically a kind of engineered wood as well, but it's made from thin veneers of wood that are laid on top of layers of resin and wood fiber that's bonded together. So when you see plywood from the side, it looks kind of like a wood sandwich of different levels. The more levels or layers of wood, the stronger that plywood is going to be. And so even though you may have some cabinet boxes made out of plywood, some cabinet boxes made out of the engineered wood, you sometimes will find combinations where there could be a cabinet box, say, that's made out of engineered wood, but the door is made out of wood. So let's talk about why it matters what the cabinet box is made out of. So cabinet boxes that are made out of engineered wood are a great value. If you take a trip to IKEA and you read the labels, you'll be able to see that what some of their cabinet, kitchen cabinet, or just, regular cabinet materials are either engineered wood, so it'll say fiberboard or it'll say particle board, and then some of them are made of wood where certain parts of it could be engineered wood, let's say the back of a cabinet or the cabinet shelves. So even though the engineered wood is strong, it may not actually hold up well over time if you're going to put a very heavy countertop like a natural stone like granite. It will hold it, but it just won't hold up as well over time as plywood. Also, even though the engineered wood products are very strong, it's more difficult to repair them if you get nicks or dings or divots or something, because it's not like wood where you can just, put some wood filler or sand it down or repaint your wood cabinets. So let's talk about the impact of moisture on engineered wood or plywood. So plywood is not as susceptible to moisture as engineered wood. And what that means is that an engineered wood is more susceptible to things like buckling or sagging under moisture conditions. If you've ever had lived in a place or went somewhere where you've seen cabinet shelves that kind of sag under the weight of heavy objects or over time, that's an indication it's probably made out of engineered wood and not wood shelves. So plywood is very strong. It could hold the weight of a natural stone countertop, and it'll keep its shape during shipping and delivery and storage. So the chances of you getting plywood cabinets and having them be warped or something when they get to you are just not good. Whereas if it's an engineered wood, that is a possibility. So let's see. Let's talk about cabinet doors and shelves. So where you have a cabinet box that can be made out of either engineered wood or plywood, there's the issue of what the doors and shelves are made out of. Now, I just mentioned the impact of having an engineered wood shelf. Let's talk about the doors. Now, the way you'll see this done on a cabinet is you'll have a thin strip of wood veneer that is covering the outside of the cabinet box or the cabinet door. So it'll have a smooth and uniform appearance. So when you look at an MDF or engineered wood cabinet door, it looks very smooth. You don't really see any wood grain or imperfections in it. And it gives like a nice, smooth, clean, modern look to the cabinet doors and drawer fronts. This is why MDF is a popular choice for cabinet doors, as well as making feature walls using strips of engineered wood as opposed to plywood. Now, the thing about cabinet doors made out of engineered wood that you have to be careful about is the fact that engineered wood doesn't hold screws as well as wood. So, if you have a wood screw hole, you can use that hole over again. You could take a screw out, screw it back in. You can use that wood filler to repair it. But over time, if you have things like hinges that are screwed directly into the MDF or engineered wood, right, cabinet box, and the hinge is also on the door, if something goes wrong with those hinges, it's going to be more difficult to repair it than if it's wood. One of the solutions that I've seen for this is that I've seen where the frame of the cabinet is made out of wood, and maybe the frame around the cabinet door is made out of wood. So the hinge is actually affixed from the wood frame of the cabinet door to the wood frame of the cabinet box. And that way there is some wood contact there, and it's not engineered wood to engineered wood. So as we talked about how wood cabinets are more sturdy, they're easily repaired. If you have wood cabinet doors, you can always, strip them, repaint them, stain them. You have a lot of options if you change your mind. That is a little bit more difficult if you have engineered wood. I believe most of it could still be painted, but you just don't have the options of sanding and repainting like you do with wood cabinet doors. Now, the wood cabinet doors also are sturdier and more impervious to things like getting scratches or dings, where the engineered wood, you can see it more readily. There's another element of cabinet doors, which is the soft close feature. So regardless of what your cabinet door is made out of, getting soft close hinges is always going to raise the amount of money you're going to pay. And in some situations, in order to get the soft close, you need to elevate your cabinet level choice at the design center. So let's talk about what the cabinet drawers are made out of. So I'm going to show you an example of a cabinet drawer that is most likely made out of engineered wood, and you can tell because the sides are stapled and you can see the side glides. That is a feature of an engineered wood product. If you're looking at a wood drawer box, you can usually see what's called a dovetail joint at the end, where the cabinet drawer isn't screwed or stapled together. It's actually like puzzle pieces that fit together at the end of the wood. Another feature of having those wood cabinet boxes is where the bottom of the box is made out of plywood. The difference between that and engineered wood is just like the shelves. Over time, the engineered wood bottom of the drawer may sag under the weight of what you're putting in the drawer, where the plywood is going to be very strong. Another feature of getting the all wood dovetail drawer boxes is usually it comes with the undermount glides. The undermount glides are also the thing that gives it the soft close feature. Now, I have seen some side glides that will also give you soft close, but it's a different mechanism than the side glides that you saw in the pictures we put up. So as we just discussed, getting cabinet drawers made from wood, it will stand the test of time. It's usually more sturdy. However, with that said, it is the case that there are engineered wood products that are high density fiberboard, very good slides, and so it is not the case that if you don't get wood, your cabinets will fall apart. It's just that it's possible that you may have some issues with things, say your drawer falling off the side glides, or glitching or things like that are more likely to happen when you have an engineered wood product. Now, when it comes to the style of your cabinet doors and drawers, they typically fall into 3 buckets, even though there's a lot of choices out there. If you just go to Lowe's and you look at that wall filled with all of the different cabinet door colors and styles, you can see that there is an array of things to choose from. So the 3 buckets generally are going to be slab or flat front doors or drawers. They're going to have your recessed panel and your raised panel. So your flat front is exactly that, or slab. It's going to have a smooth, uniform appearance to it. It could actually be used in some older cabinet styles, as well as some sleek, modern, contemporary cabinet looks as well. There are actually situations where people pick flat front drawers in combination with other recessed panel or raised panel cabinet doors, and we'll put up some examples of what those cabinet configurations look like. So moving on to the raised panel. This you can see by looking at it very closely from the side, because you'll see that you have your frame around the perimeter of the cabinet door, but the middle pops out just a little bit. And of course, there are many configurations of raised panel doors. Then there's recessed panel doors. Again, something that there's many configurations to choose from, but we all know the most popular one would be the shaker, where the panel is recessed and the frame is actually pops out around it. Now in the shaker style, you can see it's very simple, clean lines, just square corners, where there's some other recessed panel styles that have arched framework and some other nice little notches carved into the frame around the cabinet door. And so, as I was saying before, you have some configurations where people will choose the exact same drawer front for the drawers as they do for the cabinet door, and others you can mix and match it and have different configurations. Now, whether or not you can do that is really going to be a function of how your builder is packaging their upgrade packages, whether you will have the ability to mix and match only at the top level, whether they won't let you mix and match at all, or whether you could actually, have your styles mixed and match as you like. So now we have the cabinet configurations. So here's where it's a nuance that you can tell when you're looking at them, and it usually helps if you have a few examples to compare. So we have and what I'm talking about is the way that the cabinet doors are set on top of the cabinet box frame so that you could either see some of the frame, and that's what's called the partial or standard overlay. So you'll notice that you could still see some of the cabinet frame around the doors and drawers. Or there's going to be your full overlay. This has become very popular where you can barely see a hint of the frame in between the cabinet drawers and doors. Or there's inset. Now, inset to me is the one that looks like furniture, right? Because it's what you see if you see some dresser drawers where the drawers are actually flush or in the cabinet doors are flush with the frame. So you can see the outline of the entire frame. I have a tip about hardware if you are choosing full overlay or inset, because a lot of people opt not to get hardware and have it installed by the builder because the price to do it by the builder is usually something really ridiculous and exorbitant. And a lot of people opt to do it themselves after they move into the house. A note about full overlay and inset is that you will not or at all, or you're going to have a really difficult time kind of getting the drawer open if you don't have hardware on it, because you won't have enough space to really put your finger in there to open it. And with inset, it's going to be pushed all the way in, so it's going to be difficult to open. So if you are not getting partial or standard overlay and you're getting full or inset, I would suggest you get your hardware and have that be the very first thing you do the day that you move in, because otherwise it's going to be really tough to get your doors and drawers open. Okay, so now that we've talked about some of these differences in the cabinet box construction, we've talked about some of the differences in the cabinet configuration. We've talked about the differences in the cabinet door and drawer styles, as well as the undermount glides and the side glides of the drawers. So how does this all work when you go into the design center? So what will happen is your builder will have some kind of a scheme or plan, I'll call it, as to how the levels at the design center work. Now, if you are doing a custom home like we are, the way that this works might be a little bit different, and I'm going to cover that. So at a typical design center appointment, the builder design center has the cabinets divided by levels, and there might be grouped. So let's say, for example, this builder A has 7 levels to the cabinets. Levels 1 and 2 perhaps are made out of particle board. That's a low density fiber board. And maybe 3, 4, and 5 are in the more dense, maybe a high density fiber board. And to get to a plywood box construction, you may need to be at a level 6 or 7. So you see how you choosing what you want the box to be made out of might drive where you'll wind up elevating in terms of upgrading to a higher level. Another thing that could wind up taking you up to a higher level is what configuration you want. And here I'm talking about standard overlay, full overlay, or inset. Now, inset is the most expensive kind of configuration to do because, as you can imagine, the level of precision it takes to make sure the cabinet drawers and doors are flush with the frame, it just takes more precision, and therefore it'll cost you more money. You may have to upgrade to the highest level to be able to do that. Another thing that causes upgrades is color choice. Now, I don't know why this is the case, and I think it's a market demand issue where so many people want white shaker cabinets that automatically that combination of the color of white and shaker will take you all the way up to level 7. However, if you have the opportunity to shop around and know what your builder's levels are in advance of you deciding to build with a particular builder, that would be the most advantageous, because then you can ask, okay, where does your level 1 start and how many levels do you have, and how many levels do I have to go up as an upgrade to get what I want? So keep that in mind. Let's suppose you're with Builder B, and Builder B starts their level 1 at an engineered wood, say MDF or HDF. So now if you have a builder that is starting off at a higher caliber of materials and options, you may not have to upgrade all the way to level 7 to really get what you want. Also, some builders will offer what I call a la carte upgrades. So these a la carte upgrades are things where you don't have to upgrade your cabinet construction materials or your cabinet door configuration in order to get a feature. And a feature could be cabinet pullouts, it could be soft close. So those are the kinds of things to ask at the design center, because it may not be the case where you have to upgrade all the way to the top to get certain things. Let's say, for example, you don't care what the cabinet box is made out of. It doesn't really have to be plywood, and that's fine. If you could have a mid-range maybe upgrade, but then add your pullouts, your soft close, extra pot drawers, a glass front cabinet, that might be a way of you not upgrading to the highest level, but still getting the features you want. Finally, if you are doing a custom home like we are, then the way that this works could be totally different. Our builder had 3 tiers, bronze, silver, and gold. And our cabinets were going to be done by either a custom cabinet maker that only deals in wood. So now the issue as you move up levels is what kind of wood. What size crown are you going to put on? How many pullouts are you going to do? Are you going to have side detail on your cabinets or not? Those were the kinds of things that would have pushed us into a higher level. We stayed in the middle level of silver. We didn't go to gold because there were some things offered in gold, like including glass front cabinets that we weren't going to do, side paneling that we didn't care about because our cabinets are in between walls. So we just figured, let's not spend extra money on things we don't care about and stay in the range where we can get what we want. And we just added extra pot drawers and some pullouts in an a la carte method. So also, if you are doing a custom home, you may have the option of using a cabinet maker that isn't building custom cabinets, but may still build high quality cabinets that fit the configuration of your kitchen. I saw cabinets like that in a model home that you would not be able to tell that that was not a custom cabinet job. And if it wasn't for the fact that there were certain things in our house that we did design, so now we needed a custom cabinet maker, we may have just gone with this other cabinet company and it would have been fine. Okay, let's take a quick trip to Lowe's so that you can see some of these differences and nuances between certain types of cabinets, and you can see for yourselves how it looks if you were in an actual kitchen configuration. All right, let's see. Okay, here we are at Lowe's, where I'm going to run through really quick an example of a level 1 cabinet and a level 7 cabinet. You see these here are probably engineered wood, and the way you can tell is by opening up the drawer. You see the staples and the side glides that I mentioned before, and notice with the side glide you can't really get a full extension of the drawer. These are still very good looking cabinets. You just don't get a lot of extra features usually if you're at a level 1. And one way to also tell is looking at the side, where there's no side detailing in a level 1 and a small crown there on top. Now let's go to what's probably representative of a level 7. And immediately, I don't know if you could see there the side paneling there. You see the larger crown on top, glass front cabinets, lights inside. Also, you see these drawers here that are all shaker with the pot drawers. See this dovetailing here? and you get a full extension, and you also have these nice inserts, specialty inserts that will come with a level 7 utensil. Pull-outs here is very nice. I didn't do that at my house, but I should have. This nice 2-level pot drawer would be an option with a level 7. Also, all of this would be dovetailed. And now that's a spice pull-out. I did do this in my house. I might have to turn it into the utensil holder. I don't know. But in any case, thank you for watching. And please subscribe to follow our custom home building journey and for model home tours in San Antonio and the surrounding areas. And until next time, be peaceful, stay prayerful, and count your blessings.